Good morning. It's another beautiful morning here. I'm George Clement on another tour. I'm here in St. Augustine, Florida. I'm at Fort Mantanzas this morning. We're going to go out and take a boat tour to Fort Mantanzas on an island here on the Intercoastal Waterway off the Atlantic Ocean, off of Crescent Beach. And here's the tour information here. And the next tour begins about 10:30. It's now 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go and buy a boarding pass and show you the rest of the tours. Follow me and see you soon. And we begin here. We go through here. Beautiful park they got. Have to get our boarding pass. I think we go to this office door here and get the boarding pass. Here's a little bit about Fort Mantanzas itself. Established in 1565. Look at this. Get out of the people's way here.
It's not part of your list. Right, Francine? Right.
They say the fleets carried the king's silver and merchant cargo from Mexico and Peru, and the return route followed the Gulf Stream off the Florida coast because it laid beside the route, and Florida was an important strategic area, they say. Okay, here's the route from Spain down the coast of West Africa into the Caribbean, following the trade winds, and going up to the Caribbean, getting gold, silver, going back up to Florida.
Yeah.
Back to Spain. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay, so I just got the boarding pass here. The next boarding is at 10:30 and it is now 10 minutes after 10. Gonna have to kill some time here. We can walk around the park a little bit here and show you a few things. Guys said there was a nature trail on the side here to kill some time. So we'll go walk through the nature trail, follow it. And he said there are no drinks or no bathrooms. It's on an island and the fort is very ancient. So if you need to do any of that, you need to do that before you board the ferry over there. Before I go in the little scenic part, there's a little rest area here. She'll let me go. She's gonna let me go. Thank you. A couple of park benches here and everything. And it says something here on the sign. Let's see. It says a living tree house. This unique southern live oak species twists and sculpts itself in response to its environment. Notice how most of the branches are leaning westward away from the salty air blowing from the Atlantic Ocean. Interesting. Live oak wood is incredibly strong and was once the preferred material for building ships, shipbuilding. Scan the long twisting limbs for lichens, ferns, and air plants, lizards, squirrels, and birds. Very interesting. There's the live oak they're talking about. This is the real one. And in Spanish, a refuge for living things. Refuge for a living tree. This is the kind of foliage that plants and wildlife and insects you find. It's gray horned owls, golden silk spiders, resurrection ferns, and of course the ever-present Spanish moss. It's that gray stuff that spidery, like a spider web, gray stuff that hangs from a tree. Yeah, there's some right there. You see it. Gray stuff hanging right there. So let's go across the street and take the tour to the scenic pathway. Let's cross the street here.
Oh, yeah, they don't want
I think those waters are too small, so I think they might be sold out from on the bottom. There's a water filling station if you have a bottle over in the front of the building here.
There's the ferry we're going to depart from right there and go out to the island here. It's not shown on the map here. And here's where we're at right here, currently. Ferry's over here. The island, the fort's way off the map here. You can't see it, but we'll see it soon. Closed area, we can't go there, so just go up here, I guess. Trail guide. I'm gonna switch to the GoPro here in a moment. Okay, we got the wide angle GoPro here. We're gonna go and up the trail and see what we can see here. We just come down from there. Lizard. It's gonna be a fun day today, I think. Going on the trail to kill some time here while we're waiting for the ferry boat to depart. Holly and myrtle. Holly and myrtle. Evergreens have oval-shaped leaves, but they differ in details. The yapone holly leaf is near perfect with only a slight serration. The wax myrtle leaf is very wavy and more pointed, has a more pointed base with noticeable notches along the edge. This is it right here. Okay. Oops, got my selfie stick. Better carry that in my hand. Southern live oak, Pyrrhicus virginiana, species found in the southern United States. Proved useful for shipbuilding because the twisted branches and trunks did not require bending. Very interesting. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. It's like a ravine. It's really interesting, really fun. More tourists coming along the way. There's a rest area, life in the shade. Got about 15 minutes here. I don't have a lot of time. I'll probably come back later with a 360 camera view. That'd be really neat. Follow the arrows. Come to a fork in the road. Better follow the arrows. It says here, sable and saw. Sable and saw palms both have long, narrow blade like fronds that radiate from a central point, but differ in stem connections. Sable palms have a defined central midrib, and the saw palms have a sharp, sawtooth leaf stems. Very interesting. Well, watch where you step here. Eastern red cedar. Evergreen foliage attracts wildlife for food, protection, and nesting. Its fruit, young branches, and leaves have aromatic oils used in a variety of medicines. A tea made from its leaves can relieve a cough or calm restlessness. Interesting. A lot of mosquitoes here. Should have wore anti-mosquito repellent.
I did, you're right.
Live oak and red bay. These trees have simple, smooth-edged leaves that are dark green above the pale green or gray up below. But the leaf shape differs. Live oak's leaves are elliptical, and the red bay has lance-shaped leaves. And these are live oak leaves. All right. Along with the ever-present Florida palmetto leaves, or palm leaves, as we call them, palmettos. You can't really see it, but there's the intercoastal waterway in the back there. Way in the back there. We'll be going on a ferry across there soon to the Fort Mantanzas on the other side. This is a part of the real, unspoiled, unnatural Florida that's left of it. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this short here. I'll come back and do more views of the information signs. We've got about 10 minutes here. Got to get going. So, gonna make this brief. And we were just here before the fork of the road. And this is the way back right here. Again, life in the shade, yep. Oh, look at that. Chameleon. Ah, there he is. Eight minutes, gotta hurry. Okay, we're back where we started from. I'm gonna end the video right here. I'll come back with a 360 video and a better cell phone video later on. So, see you at the fort in a moment. Okay, here we go on the boat.
Washing your hands? Good. Welcome aboard. All right, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Any tap on? Is anybody sitting here? No. Okay.
That's something that you can do because
And there's the fort.
I do not like that.
They're all funneled in right here. You can't go far.
It's from the one up there. My parents and my sister still live up there.
Okay.
St. Louis side now.
Okay.
But I know exactly where Red Bud is. Doesn't have to carry on. Yeah, I know.
That boat right there.
I go, yeah, we look for it. I know where that is.
He's all about it.
Half of my patients that I treat
Yeah,
in St.
buddy.
Louis don't
Grew
know
up in
where
the
Red Bud is.
grove.
Like having two people on vacation that know where it is. It's crazy.
My grandma actually lived in Red Bud.
Oh, nice. Okay. For 75 minutes. We haven't done the other.
Okay, we are here.
Is this yours?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
All right, everyone. I would like to officially welcome you to Fort Mantanzas National Monument. So you have now made the boat ride over here. My name is Ranger Will. I am one of the park rangers here. I'm obviously not in the park ranger uniform. I'll get a little bit more into what I'm wearing a little bit later into the talk. I'm not going to keep you here for very long, though. I will give you plenty of time to explore the fort on your own. But this area has quite a bit of history to it, dating all the way back to 1565. That's when the Spanish first settled St. Augustine. And downtown St. Augustine, it's about 14 miles north of here. And if you were to go there today, you would see a rather large fort, the Castillo. Are you all aware of this fortress?
Yes.
So the Castillo, that protects the main way in and out of town. But what a lot of the colonial powers weren't aware of back in this point in history, but the Spanish were, is there were actually two different ways to get into St. Augustine, and you all are currently at that other entry point. Just beyond the fort over here, once you get onto the gun deck, you'll be able to see a bridge. Just beyond that bridge is the Atlantic Ocean. So this area was another lifeline for the Spanish. Typically, when the English would try to take St. Augustine, they would surround the town, trying to starve the Spanish out. But by having a military presence down here, the Spanish could navigate this body of water, get back out to the ocean, and go to the next nearest town to get more help and supplies. Back during the time, though, of the 1500s up to the 1700s, the next nearest town for the Spanish here was all the way down in Havana, Cuba. About 2 weeks to get there, a month to round up the supplies, and then 2 more weeks to get back to St. Augustine. So that's why it was vital that the Spanish had a military presence down here as well. Now, construction on Fort Mantanzas that you see here, it didn't start until 1740, taking 2 years up to 1742. And that's quite a bit of a gap, right, from 1565 to then. Well, during that time period, the Spanish tried their luck with wooden watch forts in this area. But building with wood in the hot and humid environment of Florida isn't really the greatest of ideas. After going through a few wooden watch forts, the Spanish realized they probably should build another strong stone fort, kind of like the one in downtown today. However, this fort served a little bit of a different purpose for the Spanish. This was pretty much a police car on the side of the road. If you all today are driving a little too fast and you see a police car, what are you gonna do? You're gonna slow down, that's right. This fort, when it was initially constructed, it was bright white with red details all over it. And that screamed this area belonged to the Spanish. So if you were in a friendly ship, come closer, but if you were the enemy, you would slow down and you would most likely turn around. The main reason for that is any of the ships that could navigate this body of water, they're going to be pretty small and they're not going to be able to carry any cannons. But here at Fort Mantanzas, the Spanish made sure to have at least 4 cannons up on the gun deck at any given point. However, even though the Spanish soldiers were ready to go at a moment's notice, every single time a ship did get too close, they would just have to fire warning shots and they would turn right around. However, most of the time, the soldiers here, there wasn't a whole lot going on. You would have 6 soldiers stationed here and 1 officer for 30 days and nights. And as you begin to sweat over here on the island, do you think you could handle 30 days here at Fort Mantanzas? See some no's, maybe a few yeses. Now that's probably how the soldiers felt back then as well, because yes, while some probably hated it, some of the other soldiers might have loved a 30-day break from their family back in town. We don't know how all the soldiers felt, and I'm sure you all have different opinions about this place as well. Now, the uniform that I'm wearing though, it is not Spanish. This is a British uniform. And the reason that I am wearing this uniform today and why we are flying the British flag is there was about a 20-year period from 1763 to 1783 where this area belonged to the English. And we're actually going to be shooting the cannons for you today, doing that English style of drill. So that's why we're wearing this uniform, because there's a whole bunch of us dressed up in that English uniform, so it makes sense that we fly that flag. But for the most part of this fort's history, it did belong to the Spanish. By the time the United States gets here in 1821, this place doesn't have much of a use for the US, and it actually sits abandoned for about 100 years until the early 1900s. The fort was in really rough shape at that point. There were trees growing out of some of the cracks. So as you look at the fort today, you can tell there was quite a bit of preservation work to getting it looking like how it does for you all right now. You all have plenty of time to explore the fort for your own. There are other reenactors up there like myself. You have plenty of time to explore it. However, we won't shoot the cannon until you're back on the boat. We'll get you at a good angle and we'll shoot it as you head back. It's for safety. But you guys have plenty of time to explore the fort. You don't need to be back on the boat until about 11:10. With that being said, feel free to walk up. There are other reenactors up there to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Okay, here we go up the fort. Very nice. Oh, nice. Wow.
You want your picture in there? Yeah.
Watch your step here.
Yeah.
And there are the cannons. Now they're not going to fire them while we're here on the fort. We're going to have to get on the ferry boat and then they'll fire them for safety reasons, they say.
It was during one of the sieges, so they were getting ready to load it, and then after they fired it, it exploded, and 4 people died in the siege of 1702 and St. Augustine. 3 of them were from the cannon that blew up. Siege warfare was more of a waiting game, so you didn't really have as many casualties as you would in battlefield warfare. So,
because all the treasure fleets stopped by St.
but yeah, that's why we take it serious here when we do shoot the cannons.
Come anymore because things have changed geopolitically. And,
There's our guide. How you doing? Very fine. And a big cannon. Wow, look at this.
That's an 8-pounder. That was one of the ones actually that the Spanish abandoned in 1821.
Really? The British took the fort over. Is that why?
At that point, so there was a period. It went from Spanish to British, back to the Spanish, and then to the United States.
Yes.
So this is from that second Spanish period going
Second
over
period.
to the U.S. period. They didn't want the U.S. military to use these cannons, so they actually put them down below, and they actually got preserved by like the mud and the sand.
I see. Okay, they bury them. Okay, to preserve them. Nice. Those are newer ones, I guess.
These
later.
are the replicas that
replicas.
Shoot.
Yeah.
They function exactly the same,
But
but they're newer.
So these are the ones they actually shoot.
After a day of shooting, we'll put them.
Okay, right.
So when they stopped them, were they out?
Scrub it.
Were they outside the inlet or were they actually in it?
My aunt lives way in the neighborhood over there. What a view here.
out at the end of the, out the other end of the
There's the bridge and the ocean beyond.
So if they get
The bridge and the ocean beyond right there.
they get past here on the south one and they somehow overtake Mantanzas, you get a road that takes you the whole day to row all the way west into St. Augustine. Things will go into
Right.
and motorboats come on board in the mud. Yeah, but if they're coming
A lot of people out enjoying the day, fishing, boating, swimming.
and then if
This is what makes St. Augustine great.
We always have to make sure the weather, what happens anytime someone brings in
especially I think it was
you get hits and cracks and problems.
where they set up on Anastasia Island.
And the British Union Jack waves over the fort.
Yeah, there was one. That was Oglethorpe when they tried to have a battery and then they're like,
Just a sailor.
Let's go inside the fort, see what they got.
They keep sinking into the sand every time we shoot it.
We'll watch our step here. Step down. Here's what's known as a water cistern. This is where they got their water, I believe. Just they poured fresh water down there. They couldn't drink salt water for sure, or they somehow wait.
About 7 enlisted men out here during any duty. The duty was about term of tour duty. It's about 30 days. And if you think about it, being out here and this is all you got to do for 30 days, you're going to be bored after just a couple of days. So 30 days was a long time. So about every 30 days they would change out the one officer upstairs who was probably a very junior officer. And the 7 enlisted men, they would go back up to St. Augustine, send 7 new guys down here with more provisions. So while they were here, I'm sure they were catching fish. If there were some oyster beds, I'm sure they were plucking oysters off there. They were catching the island here used to be called Rattlesnake Island because there were so many rattlesnakes out here. I'm sure they were eating rattlesnakes. They were probably eating turtles and anything they could break them up with. And what I have here is a display of 18th century naval food, or the food that you would have seen a sailor eating during the 18th century. Because a sailor every day was fed about 5,000 to 7,000 calories every day, which to us, that's like, good gosh, that's a lot of food. It is. I mean, we try to think of the 2,000 calories as a lot, but if you think about it, they're all young men and they're doing manual labor all day long. So they're burning that many calories every day. So to get that many calories into them every day, they were fed 2 to 3 pounds of salt pork and 2 to 3 pounds of salt beef every week. 2 to 3 pounds of peas, 2 to 3 pounds of rice, 2 to 3 pounds of cheese, 2 to 3 pounds of bread. And depending on how close you were to shore, you may either have soft bread or you would have ship's biscuits. And the ship's biscuits could last for years. You would crunch them up and mix them with other stuff before you would eat them.
Isn't that what?
Yeah. It would break your teeth if you did.
Is that what's known as hardtack?
Yeah, for the Army it was hardtack.
Yeah.
Out on the ship it's called ship's biscuits.
Ship biscuits.
Made exactly the same way, same stuff.
Okay.
Now, because of the officers, remember the ones upstairs, the officers would have had to buy and provision themselves for their own food. For all the cruises and wherever they were considered an officer, a midshipman who was just an officer in training, and usually about this young man's age. I mean, they were also considered officers and they had to supply their own food as well. So after 2 or 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months out on a cruise, they've probably gone through their 4 months worth of food. What do they start eating then? They start going all around the boat and they catch all the rats and eat the rats. And they were kind of known for doing that. I mean, the midshipmen were kind of known for that. But it was meat, and this is small compared to what most ship's rats were. They were big. And they would gnaw into the ship's flour and whatever they could get into. They were pretty big rats. Now every ship had vermin, so you'd have mice. And you would have cockroaches, and they would occasionally, most ships would burn sulfur. They would kill everybody out, burn sulfur and stuff down below. It'd kind of run all the vermin out, and then you could air it back out and get back in there. British ships were kind of known for being cleaner than any other Navy ships at the time. The French, unfortunately, were kind of considered the dirty people at the time. The French had kind of a bad reputation of having dirty ships, but I'm not sure why, but they did. But the British were kind of known for keeping their ships very clean. Yeah. Any questions?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming out. Make sure you visit upstairs, the officers' quarters. If you want to, you can climb all the way to the very top of the installation and see the lookout area.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Somebody trips and falls and goes unconscious. at a modern parking lot. You never know what can happen in a historic building.
Okay, we're gonna go upstairs here, see what they got. Okay, one step at a time.
Excuse us.
Yes. One step at a time here. These are old steps. Here's the view of the harbor. Wow.
They both evacuated the Ohio Canal.
And let's go inside. Oh, nice. Oh, they got an upper, even an upper deck there. Yeah.
Good job, did it. Way to go.
You're good. I still want to produce it.
Powder magazine. Okay.
Go back down here a moment, Papa. I figured it was
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, here we go. I'm right behind me, man.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Ready to go. Interesting. Candles for light. That's all they had. At night. Lantern. That's where they did their clerical duties, I guess. Inventory report. Yeah, that's what it says. This is the bunk where they slept. This is the bunk where they slept here. Here's the desk again where they did the clerical duties.
Okay.
She's going. Right.
What are those plastic things? We are measuring the movement of the cracks to plan for future restoration projects of Fort Mantanzas. Touching the rulers interferes with the measuring. Please help by not touching these tools. Thanks. Very interesting.
Did John go up already? Yeah. She did?
There.
And this is where the
Right there.
Go up there?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's interesting. They can throw all the gunpowder.
Afraid?
Too hot.
Oh, they have eggs there. Plants, fish.
Go look out the window here.
Oh, they did have some fruit and stuff. I was wondering about that. Well, at least they weren't on a boat.
Hi.
Well, I'm making squash, so
He's going up.
Have you gone up there at all? Have you not?
peppers.
I have. They heading up with the GoPro there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going up? Is there was a big up there?
I'm gonna try 360 here. This is the bunk where they slept here. Here's the desk again where they did the clerical duties.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a chamber pot.
She's going. Right.
What are those plastic things? We are measuring the movement of the cracks to plan for future restoration projects of Fort Mantanzas. Touching the rulers interferes with the measuring. Please help by not touching these tools. Thanks. Very interesting.
Did John go up already? Yeah. She did?
Did you see the chamber pot?
she's like a monkey. She's not
Okay.
I'm not good with
All right.
And I'm willing to bet you most of these people have no idea we're about to fire a cannon. We already put in a call to the sheriff's department, so they the dispatch starts getting calls. Yeah, we have what's called.
Hi, how you doing?
To put it lightly, every boat, car, and person
All right, I'm gonna try and go up here.
Better hurry, I think people are trying to come down.
Yeah. Going through. Can I make it?
You gonna make it?
Well, if I climb the highest zip line in St. Martin, I guess at 3,000 feet, I guess I can do it here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. 3,000 feet up, just a zip line, huh?
Oh my word.
It's not so bad, you know. Going up scary. It's coming down ain't quite as bad as it looks, though. It's just slower. The ones that go vertical across are faster, actually.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Wow.
Serena, catch me if I fall. No, go back. Wait, how do I even get on?
And here we are at top of the fort.
Wait.
Yeah, one step at a time. There you go.
Wow, what a view up here. Hi. Okay, I think we better get going in here. It's going to be pretty soon. They got the board back on the boat.
I'm coming down. I apologize.
Going down.
I probably should have mentioned that, huh?
Yep, coming down.
I guess these would go the same way you could climb it up, I guess.
Yep. Like I said, it's easier coming down.
Mm-hmm. Strange how it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone coming up?
Yeah. You got it. I'll watch you up here. I'll make sure you get up here. Yeah.
You're almost there. You got it.
Maybe here.
So close.
Good job. It's like being at the playground. A lot older of them. Yeah.
Hey, you made it.
Awesome.
Good girl. Made it. Bigger.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Oh yeah. It's cool up here, right?
Yeah.
Look at the view.
Aren't you glad?
Okay, you wanna go back?
What an amazing tour this has been. Brief, but nice. I gotta get back to the boat now. And here we are.
All right, welcome back.
Thanks for the tour. Nice. Okay, they're supposed to fire the cannon at any moment. They're going to do it while we're on the boat for safety reasons. Sorry. Should I get anything? Did I get everything? Yeah, make sure I got everything, yeah. It wasn't on, yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
See you, thank you for the tour.
Thanks.
Thank you, tour.
Excellent.
Rick
Thanks for
Steves, huh?
coming. Rick Steves, I know you.
Wave Rider 227, that's where you find me,
Got you.
YouTube.
All right.
I'll have it on Sunday soon. And what a great tour this has been. By Fort Mantanzas. Okay. Back on American soil. Great day for fishing and boating.
Way to keep your feet cool. Hold on. Thank you.
And that concludes our tour. Okay, the boat tour is over for this fort. We're gonna go down a nature trail, Coastal Hammock Trail, and got a 360 video as well. I'll post that later. It's gonna be fun. So let's go. Well, that ends our tour today. What a great tour it was. It's brief, but you know, it was a really interesting and learning experience here. Hot day today. It's July 26th. It's really hot, the hottest day of the year. So hope you enjoyed this video I made, and take care. God bless, and see you in the next video. Have fun. Have a great summer.